What's going on, everybody?
Hey guys.
So I think after a month from getting back from PRGE, it's time to show our pickups. We did do a pickups video with the Nintendo Doctor and Russ. You can see that on the Nintendo Doctor's channel. I'll leave a link in the description to both of their channels. It was awesome hanging out with them. It was awesome hanging out with all the people of Portland and all the friends we've made. We also made a visit to Double Jump Games. And what's his channel's name?
Sit Cooper.
Sit Cooper. He owns that
store.
That store. So it was awesome to visit. They resurfaced some discs for us, and then he bought something there.
I also picked this up from there. It's a little figure of Cartman from the Stick of Truth, and that's really cool. The collector's edition on the PS3 came with like a big one.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where this one came from. But it's like the same figure pretty much, and it's really cool.
It's awesome though, because that one can go on our PlayStation shelf.
Yep, and it was only like $3 or something.
And then I guess I'll show these here.
Yeah.
We got these at the end of the show. Well, I think the last half of Sunday, and with Merry Guy Gamer, his booth. We walked by a few times. Unfortunately, he didn't have anything we were looking for in particular. But we are looking for Atari games. You know, especially. 5600. Did I say that right? 5600.
5200.
5200. I'm like,
yeah. There's the 2600.
Yeah. I messed up the two systems, but the 5200 we don't have very many of, and then 2600 we don't have very many in the box. We only had one, I think. So, anyways, the 5200 lone 5200 game we got with the box was Pac-Man, and then these four are all 2600. Space Invaders, Combat, Air Sea Battle, and Outlaw. And Married Guy Gamer, he used to have a YouTube channel. If you guys are OG in the YouTube community, you guys might remember him, but he doesn't do any videos anymore. Okay,
so here are the itineraries for PRGE 2018. The artwork was actually done by, his name's Mark Erickson, right? The same guy that did the artwork for Megaman 2, so it looks very similar, except in the background you can see the two towers from the convention center, and it says PRGE 2018. And
is the lanyard on that side by any chance? Oh no, it's right here.
Yeah.
So that same artwork that you saw in those booklets, they did for the badges for the show, and I swung by his booth and got him to sign that. So that was pretty cool. Did you get yours signed as well?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I have that one back home over there in Chaparral.
Cool.
So here we have some PRG Collector Series 2018. Oh,
I was just showing the badges from the other years.
Yeah. PRG Collector Series 2018 Gaming Console Trading Cards. That's the official name for these. So they were selling the set of all of them for $10, and we just went ahead and bought them. The other way you could have got them was from collecting them from other vendors at PRG, right? Or like specific stores there in Portland.
As well, yeah. Stores in Portland, I think, had them too.
And we're not from Portland, obviously, so we just went ahead and just spent $10 and bought all of them, just because there's no other way we'd be able to get them all anyway.
Yeah.
So.
And that one was an exclusive. This first one here, the Super PlayStation or whatever. That one was exclusive to the show, which I don't know if it was available at a booth there or not.
Or if it was...
But we got the whole set. Anyways, that's something that...
They're actually pretty cool.
That I kind of wanted from the second that I saw them, but I was like, and then finally I think I bit the bullet, and then we met up. I was like, I got these. So this was a pre-planned deal that I did with the Nintendo Doctor. I really wanted these games, but just because some of these are exclusive to the show and they've got numbers on them, they get a little pricey on eBay, and even people in the Facebook groups that go to the shows, they want to sell them.
Scalp them.
Yeah, they want to price them a little bit higher, but the doc was all given to you for cost, and actually two of those was the case. The other one, he went to the swap meet, and John, I guess, decided to have a smaller run again of the first copy of this, and that's Untitled Gamers. If you guys are subscribed to the channel and have seen maybe some of my reviews, you'll see the one for part 2. And I really wanted to get my hands on this, so he was there. And remember I was telling you that he texted me, hey, do you need this or not? And I think he was standing there waiting for me to reply yes or no, because he was going to get me a copy. I thought he had an extra, but he actually got me this. So really appreciate that. Blow him out. And Game Panic. So this one... he had another run. John Hancock did there, but it was all loose carts, and the doc had this one complete from the first time around. It's got all the bells and whistles, and so super excited to have that. And I think for the 3 games it was $90, so it was just at cost.
Another really cool thing that happens at PRGE every year is the Tetris World Championships, and we just love all of that. We've seen this movie a lot of times, and that's Ecstasy of Order, the Tetris Masters. We've seen this so much. I just really wanted a physical version of it, just so we could watch whenever we want, just so we could take it wherever. And then with that, they also were selling this copy of Tetris. It's a book written or illustrated by Box Brown. It's more of like a comic, and it's actually really cool. You said the Gaming Historian had a video on it, right? Similar to this, the same way the story was told of how like Tetris was created and the history of it and all that. And
all the legalities, because there's a lot of battles between like Russia, Europe, and then Nintendo and Japan, and then it was pretty intense. And if you guys, I think I've mentioned it before. The Gaming Historian doesn't really need a shout out, but if you guys haven't seen that video, if you're not subscribed to him and you love retro gaming, that's probably why you're here watching this video. You guys need to go check out that video on Tetris. It's about an hour long. Go get dinner, do whatever you're gonna do, sit down and watch it, enjoy it. Awesome. He put so much work into it. I mean, he deserved all the views and likes that he got on that video, because that video was awesome. So next we got NBA Live 95, just a box. The doc hooked us up with this. He knows we like boxes. We got this for free, and we got this for free, and that's a Star Force 3, I believe. Yeah, Red Joker. Megaman Star Force 3 to Red Joker. And we got those two, I think, because we were working our butt offs that weekend. But he saved us about 20 or 25 bucks with this. This is just case and manual, so now we just got to pair it up with a game cart, and it's going to save us about 20, 25 bucks. And the last thing, well, I don't want to say last thing because it's not. But the other thing we got from the doc was this exclusive to PRGE, at least up until now. I don't know if he's making any more copies, but this is Super Bowsette. So it's a ROM hack. You play as Bowsette, and then do you save Mario at the end?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, right. So you're playing as Bowsette, and you save Mario from Bowser. Anyways, really cool. Again, it was exclusive, and we hardly ever buy anything from the doc other than things that we have pre-worked out. This is actually one of his pieces of work that he does, and so we were like, hey, let's support the doc. I mean, he lets us he bums at his house for 4 days at a time every year, so we got this from him.
We also got this. That's Magical Chase on the Game Boy Color to reproduction. It's the Japanese version, but it's all in English, and I just really wanted this because it's actually a really fun game. Of course, it's like really expensive and really rare on the TurboGrafx, but it's actually a really fun game other than the fact that it's rare and expensive. And
I don't know if the one that this is translated from in Japan, if that one's pricey as well.
Oh,
it might not be as expensive as the Turbo one,
but it might.
But it might be expensive enough for people to want to just translate it and get a translation of it.
So that's really cool. We also got that from Nintendo Doctor.
It's a fun game. It really is.
And then we also got this was this the complete? It was complete, right?
I think so.
So we got Stealth ATF from the Nintendo Doctor as well. He knows we like cardboard, so
he's like $10.
Yeah. So
NES complete in box, sure, $10. We'll do that.
We got that.
And then, so now we're moving on to...
I can go ahead and show these right
here. Go ahead and do the...
These were not the first things we picked up at the show, but it's kind of... We focused a lot on one thing, and this was just kind of something I did separate from what we were there for, and that was some PS3 games, because we've been collecting pretty heavy the past year for the PS3. Just because it's a console that we really like, and it's really cheap right now to collect for. It's the time to do it. Yeah.
It's really the time to do it.
And there was a booth there that had these games for $1 a piece, and this game is FIFA Soccer 09, Madden NFL 2010, and then a copy of NBA 2K15. So these are $1 a piece. Then I picked up this game from the Video Game Wizards, right? I think that's the name of Robert's friends. Yeah. Last Rebellion. This was priced at $19. This was actually what it was priced at, but I think I got it for like $12. So they gave me like a pretty... I was like, oh, you take 12? And they said, yeah. So it just looked like a really cool NIS game. Then I picked these two up from a different booth. I don't know if you saw the girl cosplaying as Tomb Raider. She was... I don't know why she was there, but that's just how I remember that booth. And they had a bunch of PS3 games as well. So I picked up Fallen Angel Sacred 2 and Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z.
You think that I would have seen or remembered someone cosplaying as Lara Croft?
Yeah. And then from that, it was actually this is gonna be from that same booth with the girl cosplaying as Lara Croft. But here we have a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it's actually just the case, and the download code, because the only way to get this download code in the case was to pre-order the game from GameStop. There was no physical release for this game, so there isn't a disc that exists, but they did make a case and an artwork that said not a game disc, game download voucher included. It says that on top, so it's basically just a case with the download code in it. So it's really weird.
And if you saw the code, don't get too happy because that's been used.
It's expired.
Long
Ago. Even if it wasn't used, it's expired. Yeah. And that's the only way to get it was to pre-order it. And I paid $20 for this one. I've seen it go for like 40 plus. Sealed, it goes for like over 100. So it's pretty rare. So that's really cool.
Next, before the show as well, as we were going through the doc stuff, I saw this and he was like, if you need it for your collection, it's up for sale. So he gave us Megaman 3 for $30. It's right around the going rate, but I didn't have to worry about eBay fees or shipping or whatever. And it already came protected in this nifty little case and printed artwork that he took time to do. So I was like, yeah, for $30 and it's going to the collection. It's what we're here for. So the thing that he was talking about that we were focusing on was Mega Man.
Yeah.
So it's what we're there focus. For. Before we even hit the show, we had this for $30. So,
this is one other non-Mega Man related thing that we picked up, and it's a Archer competition controller for the NES. It's super cool. It has like a little joystick on it, and it's like super colorful, and it's pretty sure it's like it's third party, but it's old. It's like as old as the NES, so it just makes it as cool as finding an NES controller. You know what I mean? And that's just $25 on it, but I'm pretty positive I didn't pay that. I think I offered them like 20 or something, and they took it. But it's a pretty like obscure controller, so yeah, that's really cool, really fun.
And then next we got this demo VHS tape that has Major League Baseball 1080 and NBA Courtside with Kobe Bryant. That's pretty cool, sealed, and I think it was $1. So anytime you can run into something like this, especially for someone who collects N64 stuff, which if you just take a look back there, you see a full set. I know. So this was really cool to run into for $1. And then we got this at a booth, Mega Man and Bass,
Gameboy Advance,
$22, and they had a bunch of stacked up games with the game and manual, all for one price. And whenever we asked about these, they said $5 for the manual and $22 for these, and I was like, well, you got everything else priced bundled up. Well, you just take the $22 for the two of them. And I think it was already on Sunday, so they were like, yes. They were like, yeah, just take it, which I thought was a fair price, but maybe they didn't. Maybe they wanted $27.
Yeah. And I guess now I'll show the first thing that we picked up at the show. This was the very first thing we got. There was a few things on our list that we wanted to track down and get as soon as possible, and this was one of them just because of what it is. And that's Megaman X3 on the Sega Saturn. There was how many, like 2, 3 copies
there
of
was,
this?
I think, 3 copies.
On so this is the first one that we saw, and we actually got it partial trade, partial cash. We traded a copy of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance on the GameCube, plus cash. So I think they gave us $95 credit, right? So we just paid the difference.
Right.
So
95 or 90? It was
one
of the two.
Yeah,
it was a really good trade.
Yeah, so
really good trade value. That's part of the game when you go to these shows. You know, if you got something, and to me that was a really good trade credit.
Yeah,
I was expecting more in the 70 range.
It's complete with the little foam thing.
But a note on that: there was only like 3 or 4 copies in the entire show, but we did see one for $150.
Yeah.
The second day. I don't think they had it there the first day because I would have seen it.
It was one of the booths. That was one single table in the back. They just had a few things.
So I don't think they had it the first day. They brought it the second day. But to feel better about what we had done, I asked about trades, and they said they weren't doing
Yeah, that's
trades.
what I was going to say. If they didn't take trades, we still got a good deal.
So we got a very good deal. Path of Radiance he found for $3, $2 at the pawn shop down the street.
Yeah.
So we did good. On that game.
Yeah, for sure.
On that game anyways. I'll show these two next. We got this one from the dock. It's Rockman X2. The Japanese versions of the games that you're seeing here is because once we do complete the US set, we're going to go after a Japanese set. Well, at least, I don't know if Boba's going to be on board with that.
Yeah.
We are. We're already, like, I would say halfway there with cartridge-based games, I think.
Yeah,
I think we've been doing pretty good, but it's a lot easier. Like, when we do decide to do it, I think once we're like, oh, we have $400, we're gonna be able to get a lot of games for $400. But then we also got Rockman 3, and I believe I paid the sticker price for that. I looked it up, looked up the price. I thought it was fair. I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna mess around with haggling. So I think we have 4 now of the Rockman games.
That's also one of the first things we picked up. I remember it was right next to Robert's booth, so.
And of the Rockman X, I think we have X1, X2. I think we have Soccer and 7 as well. I think. So we're doing pretty good, and not even trying on the Japanese ones. We're just been getting lucky.
Yeah. There were at one of the booths along the side, one of the smaller booths, there was a person selling $2 manuals for $2, and I picked up Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero for only $2. Our friend Russ Lyman also picked up a few manuals from that guy, and he had like an NES and like an N64 in a little box with some games in it. And we were looking, there's actually some pretty good games in there. Like I'm pretty sure they had like one of the like Mega Man games on the Game Boy Color complete in box, and like one of like Mega Man
Extreme 1 for the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, and then I think like Mega Man 2, like one that we already had. Like they had some Mega Man games, and we were looking at them, and he's like, "Oh, I actually have 4 and 5 back in my car or something." And I was kind of like, I wonder if he actually does, if he's gonna forget. He's like, I'll bring them tomorrow.
Yeah, he literally said that. Yeah. He's like, I got him in the car. Come back tomorrow. Come talk to me. And I was like, nah.
He's gonna forget.
That's the first thing we did, huh?
Yeah, and we went over there the next day on Sunday, and sure enough, we were looking, and he had him right there, and he gave us a really good deal on him. So here we have Mega Man 5 on the Game Boy. I don't want to drop that. That one was, how much do you have that price for? $90. Then here we have Mega Man 4 on the Game Boy. He had this one priced at $40. And then here we have Mega Man Extreme 2 on the Game Boy Color, and he had this one priced at $10. I don't remember what kind of deal they gave us, but we didn't pay exactly this much for all of them.
We didn't pay anywhere near what they're priced at. I just can't remember how much of a deal we got, and I wish I would watch Robert's video first, because I'd have a better idea. And I remember when we were talking about it then, I wasn't too sure, but I remember I don't know, or I don't want to haggle hard. He usually does that kind of work, but I haggled for these. I didn't want to. He had them priced fair, but not fair enough to where I was like, okay, take my money. So we got this $10 one for free, and I'm pretty sure I knocked $10 off more from what he was asking. And he was pretty happy with it. You could tell he was, and he was also like, I think when we completed the deal, because the person we talked to on Saturday was the one who told us to come back Sunday. When we got there, it wasn't the same guy. He's like, you guys got to come back because he's not here. But I'll set them aside. So he set them aside for us. Then when we got there, you could tell that he was going to be willing to go down. He was just trying. Just like how we were trying to haggle a little bit, he was also trying to stay. But then he's like, okay, I don't want to, he's like, I don't want to take these back. That's why I'm here trying to sell them. So we got a pretty good deal. And we had a top 5 list, and then maybe top 10, but obviously anything Mega Man related we didn't have was on our list. So these quickly became, like, from top 15 maybe, they just skyrocketed up, and all of a sudden, Mega Man 5 especially, just to have it now, because, man, the way that game has been just priced,
going up.
Yeah, going up, a little bit down, then goes up again. Who knows? So we're like, we just need to have it already.
This is a game that we picked up through trade only. I think we traded a copy of Contra on the NES, Mega Man X1 on the SNES, and I think a couple of other cartridges.
Super Contra?
Super C. And
then maybe like Donkey Kong Country or something like that.
And that was for Mega Man Soccer. They technically got the better deal because they got more game than we did. But we didn't really pay anything for the games that we traded because we got them, locally.
I can't say how many times I saw someone buying Contra or Super C or Mega Man X, the first one. Those are hot sellers, that as soon as we walked up, he's like, I'll take this one, and that one, and this one for that. Like, it's going to sell for him, so he's getting a really good deal. But like we were talking before we started the video, we paid like $2 or $1 a game on the ones we traded, so he got a really good deal, and so did we. That's the way we look at it.
So it was awesome.
Another little story that I've got, which I thought was a little bit funny. So we're subscribed to Metal Jesus Rocks. We watch his videos. I can't say that I'm an extreme fan. I like his videos and like his content or whatever, but I really do like some of the cast he brings on to his channel. And Drunken Master Paul, You know, John Hancock, even John Riggs was awesome. We visited his booth or whatever. But when he came by and he talked to us for like 10 minutes at the Doc's booth, and we're just having a really good time. He was telling us about he was recording. I can't remember what video he said he was working on recently that they were going to be putting out. But it was funny because he hands me a Metal Jesus Rock sticker, and I was like, oh, cool. A sticker. Like, I love stickers. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen my guitar, but I just love stickers, and I have a guitar that's full of them. I was like, that's a pretty cool addition, especially him, since he rocks, you know, whatever. But then I see him flipping through stickers, and I see these, and I didn't mean it in a bad way, but I was like, dude, take this one back. I'll trade you and give me some of yours. Yeah. And he's like, oh, here, no, just keep them all. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep them all. I just didn't want to be that guy that's like, give me 5 stickers. Yeah. He's handing out free stickers, and I didn't want to be that guy that's like, well, I want them all. Yeah. I wanted to be selective, and I was like, if I got a choice, I really wanted this one right here. So he let me have the 3 stickers, and I think these 2 are yours, and then the other 3 that are mine are in the backpack or something. But awesome interaction. Cool. I don't think we mentioned in the other pickup video that we did, but man, meeting Riff from Pixel Aaron that we know from Pixel Game Squad from Retro Liberty. He was awesome. Whose show is now on Amazon Prime. If you guys didn't know that, did you know that?
I didn't know that. That's
crazy. It's now on Amazon Prime. Other than Russ Lyman, man, one of the nicest dudes that I have ever met. And the 2 guys, I can't remember. One of the guys, Gabo
was there,
and then the other guys, something Solid Productions or something Productions. Awesome people. I mean, the highlight of the show, and they were there. I just remembered because we saw them throughout the show, and then they were there whenever he was there. So, neat little story that goes along with the pickups. Cool. Part of the game.
Yeah. Here we have a copy of. Oh, this is Japanese. Megaman Extreme 2.
Extreme 2.
Japanese on the Game Boy. I think you picked this up while you were walking around.
Yes. And I got that from the same person that we got this lanyard from.
Oh, Terry.
Yeah, from Terry. From Luigi Freakout 123. They don't make very many videos anymore, or at all, but they have an awesome channel. If you guys haven't seen those old videos, go binge watch them. Yep. But he made these before the show, so I bought that from him. And then when I swung by his booth, I think I got that for $10.
Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and just show this right here before we show the rest of that. All right.
I think we should show these 2.
Okay.
First. All right. And then leave those 2 and then that one maybe.
Okay.
All right. So. We walked up to a booth, the first booth that we saw Mega Man stuff at.
Right in front of Robert, or the Nintendo Doctor's booth.
Right in front of his booth, right across. And the first thing that I noticed were his prices. Going into PRGE, I had priced everything, our list from the top down of what we were looking for, which, like I said, was everything Mega Man related. Everything from what we've shown you here, all the way down to the DS games that were missing. And like, anyways, I saw the prices and I was like, this is a booth we're going to have to try to work our magic. Whether trade or haggles. And we had some pretty decent trade stuff, but the guy wasn't having it. Yeah. It was Saturday. I thought he had the best prices. He knew he had the best prices. And then after walking around for an hour,
we knew for sure.
And 2 hours and starting to sweat about these games still sitting there, I was like, we have to go get back and just get them. And we're going to have to try and wheel and deal with some of the other stuff and make up for it. But I thought we did pretty good. So the first game is Mega Man 7. And that one there is for $150. We were talking about it earlier. Man, I want to say, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I know there was a couple of honey hole places that people were going to getting them cheap. But I'm pretty sure the only other place that I saw, the closest one was 210.
Yeah,
200 or 210.
It was 200, and I don't think there was anybody that had it for less than 200 that I saw. Anyway. Yeah,
and there might have been someone who had a smaller booth who was selling off their stuff who had it for cheaper. Didn't see it because there wasn't that many copies. I remember last year and the year before going into this year, I was like, we don't even have to worry about it because there's gonna be just copies everywhere of Mega Man stuff. So anyways, $150. Paid sticker price for it. And then next, we got Mega Man X3, $185. The next cheapest one, I want to say, $240 or $250.
Yeah, they were priced really high for some reason.
And the only one that I saw close to $200 was because half of the label was missing.
Yeah.
Again, we were very tunnel visioned.
Yeah.
You get that way whenever you got very specific things that you're looking for. But I'm pretty sure that we were looking for this one like pretty intense.
Yeah.
And everything we found, I mean, there was nothing close to this. You know, sometimes you say close like $30, $20, nothing. I didn't see anything that I was like, well, let's go see if they'll trade and cash and we can get a better deal, because I thought we couldn't. I thought that even by haggling, we're going to be paying around this price, and the labels weren't anywhere near as minty as this one. Yeah. So we were super happy to get these two at sticker price. Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so now I can show this one.
Yeah.
Or this one.
Sure.
So this was
show that one.
This one was the second
pickup.
Yeah, it was a second pickup of the show, and it was top 5 on our list for sure.
It was number 1, I think.
It was number 1 for sure. Smash Games.
Yeah, Smash Games from Washington.
They had a copy of this game for $360. And we talked to him. We had made deals with him before in past shows. We bought from them before. They're awesome.
His name's Andy. I don't know if he's like a manager there now or something. It seems like he's the guy you go talk to for actual deals.
Yeah, and he was really nice. And we asked him if that was negotiable, if they take trade. And he also wasn't happy. He's like, for that game, I don't know. And now that I think about it, I went back later on in the show and it wasn't even there anymore.
No, it was gone. We walked by and you were like, because you could see the
games.
It was like the wire walls,
the cage.
And so you can see the cage, and it was no longer there.
So somebody else paid that much for it, and I think there was only were these the only 2 copies, and then a disc only version.
There was 2 copies, a disc only version, and the guy had it for a decent price.
Yeah,
for disc only, it was only like, I want to say like $110.
Yeah, he had a really good.
But man, honestly, going in, even talking with other people. Yeah. With like Johnny Mono, talking with other people, nobody wants just like a game like this, one of the holy grails that you want for your collection, disc only, especially like cartridge based stuff. It's I feel like it's a little bit different. Yeah. So we knew we had budgeted the money for this game, but 360 was a little. Man, steep. It was a little steep. Yeah. Like, it was a little bit high. If it were the only copy there, I think we're gonna walk out with it. But
we were searching around a little bit more, and we actually saw that our friend Drew Kearns, he had a booth, and he has a bunch of awesome stuff. He had a copy of Elite 11 on the PS3, which is like the modern stadium events or what.
I think it's more rare. Honestly,
it's like super expensive or whatever. And he just had a bunch of cool stuff, and he had a little glass case on the side with some Saturn games, and they were all kind of, you could barely even kind of see it.
Covered with stuff.
Yeah, and we were just looking, look, he has that game that we're looking for. And we asked him if I'm pretty sure the price wasn't negotiable. I'm pretty sure this was one of the only other things that we just paid this price, because I'm pretty sure there was only those 2 on the floor and the disc only copy, and that's for Megaman 8 on the Saturn. And this was number 1 on our list. It was probably the hardest one to find there. We almost didn't find it. The only one that we were seeing was the one that Smash Games. And
actually, yeah, that's true. So we had only seen the one that Smash Games and that loose disc one. And this one, we had walked by that booth 2 or 3 times, but everything was so hidden. Yeah. It was definitely one of those cases where they were like, this case is for someone who's looking for something in particular. Yeah. Who's like looking for something, because we literally had to go in there and like move stuff and then be like, can you show me that? Because I couldn't even tell if that's what it was. Yeah. But it was just so jam-packed, and I think it was all jam-packed with like Saturn and Sega CD heavy hitters. Like, but yeah, so we got, I wouldn't say lucky, we still paid $300, but there wasn't that many copies, at least that I saw.
Yeah, I was more than happy to just pay $300. Yeah. So this is number 1 on our list, that we really wanted it, so that was awesome. Then that's gonna be, we'll just say that for last, because that was our last pickup.
That was the last pickup.
This was something that I didn't really know if I was gonna buy or not. I kind of went in, I knew we were gonna be looking for Mega Man stuff, and I wanted some PS3 games. And then there was also this that I had seen recently. I know that Happy Console Gamer talks about this console a lot. I've heard Metal Jesus talk about it sometimes. And it's actually just like a really cool console that I've been wanting. And there was like 3 of them at the show, other than this one. There was
3 or 4 of them?
Yeah. There was this one, and then there's like 3 or 4 of them.
At least that we saw. That we saw. You found this one. There might have been others, but
yeah. And they had them priced pretty high at around like $300 to $350, I think. Like around $280 was the cheapest one that I saw, other than this one. And I was gonna go back the next day and see if I could work out a trade or if
with a guy for $280, huh?
Yeah,
because he had said to go back the next day.
Yeah, if he still had it or if he would go down on the price or something. And I was actually thinking about going back, and I was just looking around, and there was a guy that had 3 tables. He had a smallish booth, and he had some Atari stuff. He had a TurboGrafx 16. He had one of those big, like, it looks like a really big VHS player, but you put Genesis games in it. He was telling me about it, but it was like a really weird unit. And then he also had this, and he had it priced really good, and I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna buy this. You know what I mean? I was like, it's not something that I was 100% sure I would leave with, but when I saw the price on it, I was like,
and I could like, what's funny is that I don't know who I saw talking about it in a video, but I was like, I want one of these too, and we hadn't talked about it.
Yeah.
And then when he mentioned it when we got there that he might be looking for one, I was like, I'm not gonna fight.
Say no.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say no to you getting it.
Yeah, and this guy had it, and he was like, I have this too. He's like, hey, but check this out. And then he pulls this, and I guess I'll show you guys this first, but it's a bag, and it had the power cord, it had a little...
All original,
this little bundle of games, and the manuals and everything, and that's for a Sega CDX, which is in really nice shape, and it was really clean, and he had it at $250, and I got him down to $225, and that was a pretty good deal, around what it goes for on eBay, but, you know, I was already there to spend money on stuff, so I was like, you know, I want this, and then it came with this, and then the original power brick is probably...
Well, that's what it goes for, but without any, like at least you got...
Yeah, like, everything that it came
with.
Yeah.
The Genesis classics.
Yeah, it came with these games, it came with Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, Golden Axe, Super Monaco GP, Sonic CD, just some nice games to play because we don't really have any Sega CD games. So it came with all of these that came with it originally in the box. I've seen it and I've seen like this set complete in box like on eBay with like all these games and like the power cord and everything. And it came with the original power brick, which is pretty hard to find as well, and then the booklets. I had to find this is just I think a Model 2 AV cord. I walked around and I found one for $7, so I got that. And then it's just it didn't come with the controller because the guy couldn't find it, which is fine with me. We have a bunch of controllers, so yeah, I picked that up for $225, and it's something that wasn't really high on our list, but I knew if I saw one for the right price, I would pick it up. So.
And the thing is that, like, you know, games, usually it's not a big worry, especially when you get them on Saturday. You take them home, you test them, or like cartridge-based games, for them not to work.
Yeah.
It's going to be like an extreme case. Mm-hmm. You do worry more about if the board is real, but that's easy. You just carry around your tool, and if you buy it, or before you buy it, you ask them to open it for you, or if they'll allow you to open it, then you open it. It's, you know, usually ask them and they'll do it for you. But with a system, it's a system, it's a lot of money, and they were nice enough to be like, hey, buy it from me, take it home, test it. If it doesn't work, bring it back. But it's an extreme, like, it was, he's such good condition.
Yeah, he was like, I bought this in the store when it came out. He's like, I haven't really tested it in a while. I played it. He's like, I'm not 100% sure that it works. He's like, but I'm pretty sure if it doesn't, just bring it back. Yeah. So that was really awesome.
And just the condition that it's in.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's probably the best way to have a Sega CD and a Genesis all in one, because it's super small, compact, and it's like...
we actually took it off the shelf to put it in the video because we already have it there to,
it's so small,
to use it to play, you know?
So it's awesome.
Because we were using a Model 3 Genesis, which is not the best way to play Genesis to begin with, so whenever we found this, I was like, oh man, perfect, you know.
Awesome.
We don't have very many Sega CD games, but we got a ton of Genesis games, and of course now we can get some CD games if we want to. And the last thing that we bought, so like he said, he used that with some of his budget money. He had saved a little bit on the side, maybe some of his food money at the end or whatever. And I had a little bit of money too. I had close to $100, and we had like 20 or 30 of our budget money, something like that. Maybe even 50, I can't remember. But we had seen this game at a couple of booths, just 2 booths, I think. And then a third one had it complete in box. And the complete in box one, maybe if I'm filthy rich one day, well, yeah, it'd be probably one of the first things that I bought. But anyways, it just was way out of our reach. So we were thinking like this for some reason wasn't on our radar, as far as like top 10 maybe even, it just wasn't. But
Yeah.
it was something that if we can get a good deal on, we're gonna
gonna
walk out with it, or walk out of the expo with. And so at the end of the expo, it was like 45 minutes before the show ended. I was tired, and I just remember I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go sit on one of the bean bags at the arcade. And I go and I sit down, and I see him sitting there too, and I'm like, man, he's probably,
I'm already there.
Yeah, I'm like, he's probably tired too. So I was like, I'm gonna go sit down, and I'm sitting there, and ever since like that morning, I was thinking in my head, I was like, at the end of the show, if the one person we talked to, because this one here he had priced less than the other one that we had seen, and definitely less than the complete in box one.
A lot, yeah.
So I thought, before we even got to the show, I was just thinking, man, at the end of the show, we're going to go up to him with an offer if he still has it and be like, take it, or we're not going to walk out with it.
Yeah.
So he had it priced at $160, and I told him whenever I sat down at the beanbags, dude, let's go offer that guy $130. He takes it, or we leave it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, that's it. Like, he thinks it's fair because it's the going rate on eBay. You guys can go look on eBay for sold listings and price charting, and you'll find that that's the going rate. So $130 for Mega Man on the Game Gear. This was the last pickup, and it was our last heavy hitter that we needed for the collection. Now we just need some DS games, some Star Force games, Mega Man Battle Network game. I think it's like a double pack on the DS. And Mega Man 04. I don't know, that we're like at 8 games to go for the North American set,
and nothing over like $70.
Nothing over $70 so. Easily. I think it's like nothing over 60. Because some of the Star Force games, you know, like that Red Joker one, I think if we had to buy complete, it'd be close to $60.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we told him $130, and he's like, it's not my game.
Let me call
the guy who owns the game, and over the phone, the guy sounded pretty excited. I think that he was going to be selling this game at the end of the show. I mean, $120 is $120, considering he probably found it for $5.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
But,
we had already we had a really good show. That was just like icing on the cake.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We had already picked up everything we really wanted. Like you said, this wasn't even like on our top 10 for some reason. It just wasn't.
And I told him, I mean, it's 7 days till payday. I don't need to eat next week.
Yeah. So
we got all the heavy hitters. We had a really good show. Again, awesome time. Seeing the Doc, Russ, the Doc's wife, and everybody else, all the friends we've made over there in Portland, eating at all the awesome places there is to eat in Portland as well.
It was awesome.
So very tiring.
Yeah, I was exhausted when we got back.
Johnny and his wife was Lance. It was great to see all those guys. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know when the next video is coming up, but this is a dang long one.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Cool.